And now on to ATP Dallas. This was a fantastic win for Taylor Fritz. I actually picked Brandon Nakashima in this one going into it, just with some concerns over Fritz's health. But he won it in straight sets. So excellent win for Taylor Fritz. Brandon Nakashima wasn't really able to convert on any of his break points. And because of that, Taylor Fritz ended up winning it in straights. And another one that was a little bit surprising. Once again, I picked Tiafo to win this one. However, Seb Korda ended up having a great win. I didn't want to put too much stock into that Zhang first round match, but it turns out that Seb Korda is just playing some good tennis at the moment. This one was really decided in that first set. It was tied 5-all. Could have really gone either way, but Korda clutched up when it mattered in that first set and took that momentum into the second set. And Manarino, Ben Shelton, round of 16 match. This one got a little bit dicey, but I feel like it's always going to get dicey when you're facing Manarino. He tends to always play tight, close, contested matches, and this was no different. First two sets going to tiebreakers. Manarino getting the second in a tiebreaker to force that third set. And Ben Shelton just brought out the clutch factor in him and was able to get the win in this one, and a huge win. And that lined him up for a possible quarterfinal match against Tommy Paul. But we will get to that later. In another round of 16 match is going to be Ethan Quinn versus Marin Cilic. This one was definitely 50-50 going into it. Marin Cilic ended up clutching up and getting the win. First set tiebreaker was excellent from Cilic. And Ethan Quinn, I don't think he's got to be too disappointed in this. Marin Cilic is still playing at a fantastic level. Definitely a player that you don't necessarily want to be drawn against in some of these tournaments because he has that talent and that level of a top 10 player on his day, as he's obviously he was in the past. And Ethan Quinn, great start to the year so far, and yeah. Then Shapovalov, Kovacevic. Shapovalov, a great straight sets win against Kovacevic. Really clean in this one, and it's looking good in this tournament. Place he's very comfortable at. And real quick on Kovacevic, I was just thinking, like, what's my opinion on Kovacevic in general as a player? Is that I think he's quite talented. I think he's well, for starters, he plays a very fun brand of tennis. The one-handed backhand, of course. To me, like, he is a staple at, like, right where he's ranked. He's ranked, I believe in the 50s or 60s. I believe he's in the mid 50s at the moment is Kovacevic. And you always see him on these entry lists, the 250s, the 500s. And it's, can he take that step forward, or will he stay in this range? To me, he's kind of like the litmus test of that top 55 to 60 player is Kovacevic, where he can defeat players that are he can defeat a Shapovalov if Shapovalov is not playing well. But if Shapovalov brings his A game, I feel like Kovacevic hasn't been able to take that next step and defeat any of the big players when they bring their A game. But I don't know. That's my opinion on Kovacevic. He's still one of those players that I'm excited to watch him whenever he plays, because I see something, I see a little bit of potential. Maybe it's just because he plays a flashy game of tennis, but yeah, I think he's pretty talented. And then this one, I owe an apology to Pennington Jones. I didn't give him any chance in this one against Spitzeri. To be honest, this entire round of 16 was a pretty difficult showing on my part in terms of the predictions, and Gotta apologize to Pennington Jones because he was able to get a huge win against Elliot Spitzeri. One caveat here, though, is Elliot Spitzeri was not broken in the entire match against Pennington Jones and ended up losing the match. So a little bit devastating for Spitzeri, especially the way he started the year, but also just like the way kind of the draw was shaping up for him. He could have continued to make progress in this tournament, get some great rankings points. Instead, it's Pennington Jones who's doing that. And then this one, a little late night ATP Dallas action. Tommy Paul, tough first set, gets that one done. You think, oh, He's gonna take that momentum into the second, steamroll Kecmanovic, but Kecmanovic digs in and gets the job done. Wins the second set, wins the third set. He was up big in the third set, was serving for the match and ended up getting broke. Tommy Paul ended up breaking back before Kecmanovic ends up serving out the match. Uh, this is it, the Tommy Paul Ben Shelton quarterfinal was projected. That would have been a fantastic match, and Kecmanovic ends up upsetting that and leaves Kecmanovic versus Ben Shelton in the next round. Just a good, solid win for Kecmanovic. And as we head to the quarterfinals, the first one is going to be Pennington Jones versus Marion Cilic. Now, is Pennington Jones going to continue this run forward, or is the veteran Marion Cilic going to find a way to stop him? They have never played against each other. And yeah, so I will be picking Marion Cilic in this one. Maybe I haven't learned my lesson picking against Pennington Jones. I just feel like the Wily Old Fox and Marion Cilic will find a way to get this one done and make a semifinal at ATP 500. Then Taylor Fritz versus Sebastian Korda. They have faced off four times. Taylor Fritz leading the head-to-head 3-1 with Seb Korda's only win it at the Canada Masters in 2024. They have played twice on clay, actually, twice on hard courts. And the last time they faced off was in 2025 in Tokyo, only a couple months ago, where Taylor Fritz was able to get the victory, but it did go to 3 sets. In this one, I feel like this one actually is a fantastic and very interesting match. It depends on, I mean, this can be obvious, but it depends on two things. One, Taylor Fritz's health. That this is probably the most important factor to the match. If he can, back up, the two matches that he's played previously in this tournament, can he back that up with a third? Can he bring his level again? Because can he bring his level? He's gonna have to bring his level up as well against the player in Seb Korda, who's playing very well in this one. And then Seb Korda, are we going to see a consistent player, or are we going to see an inconsistent player in this one? Are we going to see the Seb Korda? The variance in what you're going to get from him in any given match is very, very high. Which one are we going to see from Seb Korda in this one? Uh, this one uh, this one could really go either way. There's so many variables in this one that I'm not even gonna pick a winner in this one. Shapovalov, Davidovich, Fokina. They faced off twice before, both on hard courts, including last year in the Acapulco semifinal. In this one, I will be leaning towards Denis Shapovalov. I feel like he just gained confidence at this tournament in general, not only this year, but also from his success last year. And I will be going with Shapovalov in this one. We got two seeded players in this one, and big opportunities for both. Shapovalov, Fokina. I'm definitely thinking Shapovalov is going to try to dictate play in this one, while David Fokina will probably try to counterattack a little bit more in the points. Uh, and it's probably going to come down. Match is probably going to come down to more of how well does Denis Shapovalov play versus a lot of mistakes from Alejandro Davidovich Fokina. And if Fokina were to make a lot of mistakes, I'm guessing it'd be due to Shapovalov forcing them. And then our last quarterfinal is going to be Miomir Kecmanovic versus Ben Shelton. It was looking like all the world like it was going to be Tommy Paul, Ben Shelton, and then Kecmanovic in the late night Dallas pulls off the upset over Tommy Paul. I don't really see him going back to back and getting Shelton. I think Shelton's weapons are just a little too powerful. And I think Shelton's just going to serve his way into the semifinal, which could lead to an interesting match because Shelton will, the winner of this match will face a seeded player in either Shapovalov or Davidovich Fokina in the semifinals.